I remember when Mark and I went back to XM Radio, they asked us to come back and do a live show, which made it into a CD. And thank you very much for those of you who bought CDs. I really appreciate that. It's cool to actually sell records nowadays and get the money. Concept that I didn't know in the past.
Should ask more.
Just to show you what a pain in the butt it is. You know, when we signed with Atlantic, you know, it was a long time ago, obviously, and you give up your publishing, you give up the rights to the record, blah, 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 because they were paying for the record. And then it came out on Collector's Choice, and was one of their top sellers for quite a while. And I think that a lot of these reissues, they think that the artist is probably dead, so they just kind of forget to pay the royalties. And so I actually contacted them. I go, hey, it's when you know that, you know, I wrote kind of all those songs. I sang all of them, and I was in that band. And don't you think I should get paid too? And so after a lawyer, I spent $1,000 on a lawyer. Finally, the guy goes, yeah, well, you know, it was always the accountant, blah, 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 so it's a bunch of crap. So this is for the first 2 albums. I get paid for like 7 songs. And I got the royalty statement. I called the guy, I go, wait a second. How can I only be paid for 7? Because there's 10 on one, there's 11 on the other. Are you pulling tracks off or something? If someone buys the record, you need to pay me for all of it, and then they just kind of disappeared. So that's one of the reasons we made the Still Burnin' CD with XM, because, you know, it's really a shame to give up. You know, a lot of artists made records that didn't come out, and the record company never gave them back to them. And that's what I like so much about nowadays, because you own the stuff, and you should own it anyway, you know, and there should be a thing with record companies, and they should have given it back to you after like 10 years or so. But that's my spiel, that's all.
We like you, John.
So, gosh, I have no idea, so don't hold it against me if I completely butcher this. But we were going to play this at XM, we ran out of time, and there was a guy that came back, his name was Marty, and Marty had hired me to play at a house concert in North Carolina, and I was playing there with James Lee Stanley and Marty DeJournette. And he was a musician and a harmonica player, and he said, hey, wow, are you guys going to play All I Need? I go, yeah, we can play it if you want. He goes, do you mind if I sit in on harmonica? I said, oh my God. Yeah, it sounds like a really great idea, man. You know, I had no idea. He said, I used to play it when I was a kid all the time. So, and he was the host. So I said, sure, why not? So he played the parts really great. It was like, wow, this is pretty cool, man. So when Mark and I went back to XM, I called Marty. I said, Marty, I know you live in North Carolina, but XM is in Washington, D.C., and if you come up there, man, you can play on the live performance if you want to play on All I Need. And so he put his son in the car, and they drove up there, and he was so pumped about it because he and his son were having problems, and this was a nice little roadie for him. And so anyway, when he showed up at the hotel, he says, "Babe, could you guys play Poor Man's Dream for me?" So we said, "Sure." So I think that might have been the last time I played it. So here he goes. Seems my work is almost done. Think I've nearly reached the sun. In my life I've gone both ways and in between. I feel I chose the right road. Am I in a poor man's dream? Have no fears of growing old. in a poor man's dream. I'm so grateful now for all the love in my heart. And oh, I'm so lucky now for being given such a good start. Had a good time yesterday. All my fears had gone away. In my life I've gone both ways and in between. Today is the beginning, and my inner